that. Futurity Trial down at Retama, ran third in that one, a third before that. Won the race, but ended up disqualified down at Sam Houston going 3:30. I think ML how do you say that? Preciado is the winner here in the first.
Yeah, the thing that worries me a little about him, he's going to be a really short price, and he deserves to be. He's clearly the fastest in here when he's on his game, but he bore out really bad last time. Like, he ended up running where they don't always harrow the track, out where they do the post parades. And Noe Villatoro was, thinking, I hope I don't end up at the outside rail, is what I'm guessing he was thinking. So he's going to have, and he broke out also. And I'm a little worried he's back on the outside again. I'd be a little concerned if I were an Eagles dynasty that this guy that broke out last time is right inside of him. But ML Preciado, I think, is best. He ran a super race last time. He probably would have won it if he could have run straight. I'm hoping he can run straight today. Some others to look at. I mean, Rodney likes the one, COP Keating, who I really like as well, but somehow he didn't make it into my picks. He ran a super race last time, first off the claim for Mary Mesa, and that was a really good try. Big Daddy's Secret certainly, ran a nice race last time. If you like the last race being a good one theory, those two would be a couple
I like that. That's why I got
exactly.
like that.
And I do too. And DC is a G's, an interesting long shot. My third pick has been off since May, but was 3-1 in his debut. Didn't run too bad. Then he lost the rider in his second race, and now is coming back off a layoff. So, race 2. Let's see here. This is for non-winners of 3 or non-winners of 2 races other than maiden or claiming. They're going 300 yards, no scratches here. Only the 8-horse is in on the non-winner of 2 other than side. All the others are non-winners of 3 in here.
Yeah, I ended up on number 2, Cos Pretito. I think I called this horse last time, Cos Pretito. We'll go ahead and go with that again. This horse was in the B.F. Phillips last time out. That was a 400-yard race right here over our track. Finished 5 of 9 in that one. I mean, it wasn't a bad run, really, especially when you talk about the winner of that race, Amachili. I mean, that horse not only won the B.F. Phillips, but won the Dr. Glenn Blodgett as well, right? So, a pretty solid horse there in Amachili. I like those horses, too. But Cos Pretito here, like I said, 5th last time out in that stakes race. In the Gillespie County Derby before that, I mean, just missed by half a length. In that race, ran well in the trial down there as well in Gillespie. Saw this horse in the Silver Bullet, a couple allowance races at Sam Houston earlier this year, where Cos Pretito was the winner of one of them. I think there's a lot to like about this too here. I got the 4 Apolitical Lilo as my second choice. We've seen this horse out here twice so far this meet. Hadn't hit the board in either one of those starts, but came fairly close last time. I mean, it was a 5th place finish, but was only beaten by 3/4 of a length. So, I mean, it was pretty close up there in defeat. You look how this horse did at Retama this year, wheeled off a couple wins, ran second in the TQHA Sales Sophomore. Lilo. And then I got number 8, Zeph Lucky Sace, as my third choice here. This horse has run 12 times out here at Lone Star Park. I think I picked this horse in my top 3 in like 11 of those 12 races. This horse was in the B.F. Phillips last time, the Dr. Glenn Blodgett as well. I mean, ran toward the back in both of those races. But, they were stakes races, so they were tough. I mean, they had Amachili was the winner of both of them. But if you look at the races before that, I mean, Zeph Lucky Sace was competitive in a couple races at Retama, picking up back-to-back wins, went in the 550 stakes. Same result as the other 2 stakes here toward the back. But, Zeph Lucky Sace, this horse has been around for a while. Out of those 12 starts here, only has 1 win on our track. Has a third as well. So, I mean, it's not very many times this horse gets up and it finishes in the top 3. But, like I said, I think the horse has been overmatched a lot of times out here. But I think the top 3 finish may not be out of the question tonight.
Oh, for sure. I think really, I don't mean to put down the others in here, but I really think the 2, 8, and 4 are probably, or not probably, I believe they are the horses that you're going to have to go through to win this race for sure. If you're one of the long shots, I'm taking a little bit of a modified shot with Apolitical Lilo, who appears to have been better in the summer. He had a really good Retama campaign, 2 wins and a second. And that good second was in the TQHA Sales sophomore. He seemed like he was really on the improve, running good times. You know, his first race here, he had trouble at the start. You can throw that out. The second race, which was his last race here late last month, he turned in a decent performance, like Rodney said, beaten 3 parts of a length while fifth. I have a feeling the 2 and the 8 might get a little over bet coming out of those stakes. They were both, you know, decent efforts in those stakes, and I think those 2 are pretty similar. I'm going to try with the 4 just for a little bit of a price. On to race 3. Key scratch out of here, number 4, Insta Millionaire, scratched out of the third. $7,500 claimer for non-winners of 3. Also take out the 12, cash this eagle. Getting into the race is the 11, Jazak.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 5 here, Corona Trace Eagle. You know, last time out, this horse was in an optional claiming race. Went 550 right here at Lone Star Park. Ended up 6 of 8. I'm thinking that was probably a little bit too far for this horse. But you look at the races before that. I mean, this horse has been was a winner at $7,500 back at Sam Houston earlier this meet. So, I mean, the horse can compete at this level, I would say. But since then, I mean, I think the horse has been over its head. A couple 10,000 races. The horse has run 7 of 8, but had bad starts in both of those.
Yeah.
I'm lukewarm pick here for me on Corona.
Everybody's kind of lukewarm in this race.
It's the millionaire out. It's like, all right, where else am I going? Wise Philly, the number 6 horse, that's going to be my second choice. 15-1 on the line for this one, but was in the $7,500 race last time out, hit the board in that one. 3 starts back, was in for the $10,000 tag, was just behind by half a length. So, you know, Wise Philly could be up there toward the front in races that are similar to this, I would say.
Yeah.
And then I got number 1, Ranger Oki, as my third choice. I mean, horse comes in here fresh off a win at the $10,000 level last time out. You know, that was $250. Going to have to go a little bit further tonight. But, you know, coming in here fresh off a win, why not give this horse a look for the top 3 here? For 5, 6, and 1 for race 3.
Yeah, multiple horses in here coming off layoffs of different lengths. I'm scratching into, because we all scratch into somebody here. I'm sure we all had Insta Millionaire originally. I scratch into Berlin, who hasn't been out since August 14th, does have an October 14th work, doesn't appear in your program, but will announce it. It was 2:20 on a fast track in 12.40 seconds breezing. 2 outs ago at this level for non-winners of 2. Was a winner, stepped up into much better non-winners of 3 company last time. You know, ran kind of like you might expect at 9-1, was 6th out of 9. Gets back to a better level, has that recent work. I'm going to give him a look from the outside. Again, it's a tepid choice over the 6 and 5. Corona Trace Eagle, Arnold Lewis claimed this horse off a win. That win Rodney mentioned back in May at the non-winners of 2 level for this price. And then stepped him up a bit, but not like he was stepping him up into monstrous company, and the horse hasn't run a step for him at the higher levels, so now he fits much better at this level. He's going to have to get going, though, that 5 horse, because he is not overly speedy in that race. Here is only 3:30, so he's going to have to get the wheels going early. Race 4, 250 is the distance in the 4th. This is a maiden claimer for $5,000 for 3 to 5-year-olds. Scratch both of the also eligibles.
Yeah, I ended up on number 2, Bradley the first. I mean, the last few times you see this horse was running for $10,000, $20,000, but this is a maiden races before that. None of them really worked out for the horse. Now he cuts that claiming price in half from those last races, from $10,000 to $5,000. You know, he's down here about the easiest race that you can get, I would say. I mean, this horse is coming in from out west. We see a lot of success or some success with horses that ship in here from out west and, you know, run here for the meet. So, you know, I'll give a nod here to Bradley the first. Strange Chick, the 1 horse, that's going to be my second selection. You know, this horse came close to breaking that maiden last time out at the $7,500 tag. Was just a neck short in that race. Take a look at the first 2 runners of that. Both of them were next out winners. We've seen VP Bryce Tom Hart, JJ's Dash and Perry as well, win some races out here. So, you know, that must have been a pretty tough race. But to be at third, just behind by a neck against 2 next out winners, I like that. So I'll give Strange Chick a check mark here. And then I got number 8, JC Flying High as my third choice. 12-1 morning line. This horse took 11 months off between the two races that he's had. Last time out, came out here on the 27th of September, the first race in 2025. Ran fourth in that one. Got bumped in that race. Wasn't very clean, but the horse still was up there for fourth in a 9-horse field. Second start after a layoff. I like that angle. We'll see if this horse with some big odds can't come in. Gets the Lasix tonight. So some changes here for this horse, no doubt about it. But if you look at that last speed figure for that last race, I mean, it's comparable to a lot of the horses in here.
Yeah,
so,
it really is.
With just a little bit of improvement, this horse could win the race. But 2, 1, and 8 is how I got the fourth.
Bradley, the first, in most ways, does dominate this low-level maiden field. One horse I wanted to mention is the 5, PYC's Crock of Roses. Hasn't been out since June. Has never been less than 14-1. Has run at this level before and not done much, meaning that she's 30-1 on the morning line. But she did have a nice, quick work at Delta back in August, and then in a work that is not in the program that we'll be announcing because it happened too recently to get in the program, October 16th at Evangeline, PYC's Crock of Roses went 220 in a really rapid 11.81 breezing. That's third best out of 15 that morning over in Opelousas, Louisiana. So she's at least training well coming back. On to the 5th. 300 yards, $10,000 claimers. These are 2-year-olds that are non-winners of 2 lifetimes. Scratch both the 11 and 12.
Yeah, I like number 5, Affirmative, here in this spot. 4 races, has a first, a second, and a third. The debut was a 5th-place finish. That was way on early in the year at Remington Park. Last 3 races all came at Prairie Meadows, in for the $15,000 tag up there in Iowa. And like I said, ran well in those races. Won last time out, was behind by half a length in a 3rd-place finish, then behind by a nose in a runner-up spot up there in Iowa. So I think Affirmative is the one to catch tonight. Number 3, Runaway Prize Dash is going to be my second choice. This horse had a close-up one last time out, was behind by a neck when it was all said and done. Horse was a winner in his debut back in May at Sam Houston. 2 out of the 3 races at Retama Park were on the board finishes for this filly. I think that she's a logical choice here to run in the top 3. And then number 8, MF Holy Waters. That's going to be my 3rd selection. Last 2 races, this horse won the 1-2 back. Most recent race was only a neck behind in a $10,000 non-winners of 2 race like we're going tonight. Happens to be at the same distance as well, right? Yeah, 300 yards. So why not take a horse that's 15-1 on the morning line to, get up and round out the trifecta?
Yeah, I was a little afraid of the Prairie Meadows form until Charlton Hunt's horse last night.
Won big.
Yeah, and got crushed in the wagering and won, by a length and a half. But those margins always look wider in quarter horse racing since you rarely see open length margins. So I'm not as worried about the Prairie form for Affirmative coming in here. Lil Card, I'll mention him. He's 2-1 on the line as the morning line favorite. I mean, he's back to reality after being an allowance non-winners of 2 last time. And, beating a length and a half, kind of went evenly at 15-1, but, now gets back into a much more reasonable level. Race 6, Paints in the Karen Utek Memorial Stakes. 350 yards is the distance here. Scratch the 11 and 12, who were both rather low on the morning line. So, it probably means that the one flying Cholitos, who's both of our top picks, the 7 and the 4 will probably all be much shorter in the odds than they appear on the line.
Yeah, I mean, what a decent race for the Paints, right?
Yeah.
The Karen Utek Memorial Stakes. I was looking through this, and I kept seeing one race, and it's like 8 out of the 10 horses ran in the colors of the Alamo Maturity last time out.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think I would logically pick one of those horses, but hey, ended up on Flying Cholitos, the one of them that wasn't in that race, right? I love those Cholitos horses. Supplemental entry as well. I mean, not that either one of those has to do with the ability, I guess, but if you see Flying Cholitos, I mean, this horse competes. Was running against quarter horses as well. I mean, if you take a look, this horse was in the Firecracker Derby at Delta Downs. I mean, just ran ahead behind the winner of that one.
That's an open grade 3 quarter horse
that's
race.
That's a good race.
Yeah.
And then followed that back up with a win in a trial at Retama for the Sire Cup Derby, where the horse got in and ended up running 6 of 9. But another solid horse there. Then last time out, we saw this horse in the Dash for Cash Derby trials. I mean, if you look Fraxis at the gate, you can kind of excuse that race. The horse was amped up for that one. But Flying Cholitos, I mean, this horse has 5 wins out of 16 starts, 2 of them coming right here at Lone Star Park. 50% winner here on our track.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to like about the number 1. Then I got V Golden Game as my second choice. That's your number 7 horse. This was the winner of that Colors of the Alamo Maturity. Won it by a head. Came close to winning the stakes before that. Did won 3 starts back at Sam Houston. And then I got number 4, Rosario Tajares, as my third choice. This horse ran right behind V Golden Game in that Colors of the Alamo Maturity. Picked up a win last time out in an allowance race right here over our track. You got to like all those things. Give me 1, 7, and 4 here in the Karen Utech Memorial.
Yeah, V Golden Game, the 7, and Rosario Tijeras, the 4. I mean, they're both. If you like horses that hit the board 1, 2, and 3 and are competitive, I mean, they're both for you. I mean, they are just machines at hitting the board and very talented paints. I just think Flying Cholitos, having taken part in some of these quarter horse races and having run so competitively at Delta and Retama, gets the nod for me. And it shows confidence when the connections go ahead and supplement a horse. He's a 3-year-old, taking on some older ones here, but I think he's going to be tough. Might just watch the early races with the track being off, see how the inside's going early on. I mean, they never start right on the rail in quarter horse racing anyway, so there'll be a 3 lanes shifted out. But, keep an eye on that in the early going just to be safe. All right, up to the back half of the card, race 7. 330 yards. These are Texas-bred 2-year-old fillies.
I'm on number 9, horse from the outside, Giacosa. Last time out, this horse ran 5th, beaten by 2.5. It's an easy one to overlook. The horse had some trouble with that one. The races before that, I mean, this horse was right up there close. Missed by half a length, 3/4 of a length before that. So I'll give the nod to this horse on the outside. Number 5 is going to be my second choice, Jet Black Corona Chick. Last 2 races, futurity trials, back toward the back. Running 6 of 9 in both of them. Had a decent maiden race before that where the horse ran 3rd. And then if you look way back to March at Louisiana Downs, you see another maiden race, that Jet Black Corona Cheek just missed by half a length in that one over a next out winner who ran 3rd. Then I got number 1, Exodus, as my 3rd pick. 2 starts for this horse. This one's making his 2nd start after a layoff. I like that angle. We'll see if this one horse can't run well from the inside. 9, 5, and 1 for race 7.
Exodus last time out was 20-1. That's that one horse, and was drawn in the 7 hole, and just kind of ran on down there. But when you figure he was 20-1, and there were a number of horses in there much more heavily bet, it really wasn't a poor effort. It was she didn't make a big impression. I'm going to go with the 6, Trace Fess. Only because I thought she ran very enthusiastically last time. She had, and again, you got to consider who they're running against, the class level, etc. She was against higher level maiden claimers. This is a maiden special weight race. Got to keep that in mind. But Trace Fess really ran a solid race last time. Was only beaten a half length. 2 fillies got the better of her that day. Her other races have not been much to write home about, but I have a feeling that she might, if she runs like she did last time, which was a little under a month ago, she might be able to come back and fire and give Giacosa and Exodus a run for their money. On to the 8th. By the way, that 7th race, the one we just covered, 7th begins the pick 6. 8th race begins the pick 5, 300 yards, non-winners of 2. Scratch both the 11 and 12.
All right, we got the same top 2 here. State of Blue, number 1 pick. This horse to me is the one to beat. Last 3 races, this horse has hit the board in all of them. Hadn't been more than a length behind. I mean, hadn't had that win in the last 3 races or last lot of races, but was up there close in the last 3. A couple of them claiming races, 15,000 last time, 20,000 at Retama. Allowance race mixed in. Horse was in the Derby Challenge at Sam Houston earlier this year, ran 6 of 9 in that one. They're toward the front in most of the races. I think the State of Blue gets it done tonight. Number 10, Royal Cowgirl from the far outside is going to be my second choice. In that trial last time out, the horse was beaten by almost 3. Let's toss it. Look at the ones before that. If you do that, this horse was a winner, runner-up a couple times by a neck and a nose at Remington. Royal Cowgirl, that'll be my second choice. Give it to me 310 here in race number 8.
Yeah, the thing about Royal Cowgirl comes from a very good barn. Jose Gomez barn wins a lot of races here and in Oklahoma. This filly is training pretty well. She had a really good work, a fast work at Will Rogers late last month, and she hasn't been out since the 3rd of July. And she's been a very good claim. Gomez claimed her for $15,000 at Remington, and as you mentioned, got a win, 2 close seconds out of her before what you could consider a disappointing effort at 3-1 in that Derby trial. But this is a non-winners of 2 claimer, so making a considerable class drop. I'm still on State of Blue on top, though. Has a more recent race. Ran okay last time out. Got the head bob for second. Beyond that, it's a little bit of a toss-up as far as the picks under those two, in my view. Race 9. I think this one's tough. I even wrote tough to remind myself. The top of the sheet. Scratch the 11 and 12. That takes a lot of money out of the morning line, or a lot of points out of the morning line. RB Lunch Money and Macon Tracks did not get in. Everybody in the body of this race, all 10 of them are 3-year-olds, even though it's written for 3-year-olds and up. And a good wide open contest.
You know, I wanted to take Fine Wine M3 on top, but I just found 3 other horses I thought were better.
Yeah,
so.
It's one of those
yeah,
races.
but she did win great in her last race. I mean, she won it big, right? 2 3/4.
Yeah.
But hey, I'll let you talk
Lower
about her
class
since
level,
she's your
but
top.
yeah.
Since he's your top choice,
Sure.
I want to talk about Little Cool Cat from the inside. That's going to be my pick here. Number 1, you look, last 2 races, this horse was in allowance races. Our last 3 races were all allowance races. And Little Cool Cat ran well in all 3 of those. The last 2 was behind by a neck and a nose. So, I mean, easily could have gone the other way, and this horse could have picked up the win in either one of those races, just a step quicker coming out of the gate or whatnot. But I liked that the horse had some experience against those other allowance runners and ran well. Broke its maiden back at Sam Houston before going into a Derby trial race, but was well beaten in that one. Got to the allowance ranks, and said, "Hey, Little Cool Cat can run a little bit." Number 2, Trace Wines. That's my second choice. 12-1 on this one. This horse was in the Sire Cup Derby 2 starts back. Finished 8 of 9 in that. But if you look before the last 2 races, in the trial, an allowance race, and a couple maiden races, this horse is right up there in all of them. So at 12-1, I'll give this horse a shot for second. And then I got number 5, Dash for Power, as my third pick here.
Yeah, Dash for Power is interesting. Eddie Lee Willis has had a quieter meet, fewer horses here this year than last fall when he really did well. He's good at bringing them back off layoffs. Dash for Power hasn't been out since May, has had a steady diet of non-winners of 2 races. Did compete last fall in the Losal Juvenile. That's a $2 million futurity that has a juvenile along with it. So a good 2-year-old last year. I didn't work him into the picks just because of the layoff issue. Fine Wine M3 came to the care of trainer Martin Rodriguez back in the summer. Since he's taken over the training for him, he's broken his maiden by a neck. He moved him into 10,000 non-2 company, and he just obliterated a field. Now he steps up that much tougher into a non-winners of a race other than, or non-winners of 2. Turns out they're all non-winners of 2. The number was good for Fine Wine M3. So it was about the same as Little Cool Cat's number from last time. So I'm going to hope the hot horse stays hot. Next up, race 10, 2-year-olds. And these all happen to be non-winners of 2 as well. 350 the distance. Scratch, the morning line favorite out of this one, the 7, Big Thunder, who I was trying to beat in this spot. 11, Monarch Knight gets in.
And we were both trying to beat him with the same horse, it looks like,
well,
right?
Now we should have a big chance.
Yeah, let's go Lethal Eagle V. Last 3 races, all futurity trials. The one right here for the Dash for Cash wasn't the best. Ended up 6 of 10 in that race, but if you look at the ones out west, the horse was right up there within a length of the winner. The races at Turf Paradise earlier this year, not bad at all either. I think Lethal Eagle V could be the one to beat. I took the 3-horse Duke right next to Lethal Eagle V. Hopeful for that suck-along theory.
Yeah, exactly. See, I got the suck-along on both sides because I'm going 4-3.
There you go. Just draw them all up there.
Exactly.
But Duke, I like this horse at 12-1. Last time out was an allowance race, ran 8 in that one, but come on, let's toss it. Had some trouble in that race. The races before that, I mean, this horse was up there toward the front in all of them. I like horses that are up there toward the front consistently, trained by Angel Sanchez. I mean, the horses he's sent out this year
very tough to
are
beat.
definitely got to watch them. And if you get anything close to 12-1, like, let's go to the
jump
windows.
on that.
And then I got number 8, Armor of God YG as my third choice. This horse has had 4 races. Only one of them's really been a clunker. That was the one 2 starts back. Other than that, this horse has hit the board in 3 of those 4 races. In that one that was the clunker, hit the rail in that race. So, I mean, that's what the comment says. That's never a good thing.
No,
so maybe
really
if you didn't run
isn't.
into the rail, Armor of God YG would have had another good position. But I'll take the horse third here, 4, 3, 8 here in the 10th.
Yeah, I'm going 4, 5. The 2 shortest prices remaining on the warning line. They both come out of the same trial on September 13th for the Dash for Cash Derby. Lethal Eagle V was 9-1. Pick and Roll was 21-1. They only finished a half length apart, running 6th and 7th. Legal Eagle V finished in front of him. There might not be a big difference between the two of them, but Lethal Eagle V, did have some trials for the big derbies over in New Mexico that were pretty good. So I think he merits the selection here, and we'll see how things go in the 10th. On to the 11th. Maiden, fillies, and mares. These are 3 to 5 years old, going 3:30. Scratch number 9, Delights Out. Scratch the 12, JT Mexico Cash. The 11, Bailey's, who is 2-1 on the line, draws in the race. I'm going for a long shot in here. Oh, we both have the 7 as the long shot pick. So
all right,
here you go.
We're going to agree on the pick 3, I have a feeling, the late pick 3. Maybe.
Probably, yeah.
But, you know what, this race right here, a maiden race, right? I think some of these horses might just stay a maiden their whole career out of this race. I mean, this is a tough
There are
one
some
for me.
I circled some of the for long timers. There's a bunch of them in here.
This is a tough race for me to find a horse, especially, I'm looking at horses that are 0 for 15, 12, 0 for 13, 0 for 15.
Yeah.
Like, oof. Come on, someone's going to win this race, but, I landed on a second-time starter, right?
Yeah.
Miss PYC Angel. This racehorse had a start back at the beginning of August. Ran 7th in that one at Retama Park, but it said broke out, didn't have the best run there. Let's go ahead and step it up. Second race back, her second race of her career. It's got to be a better one than that last one. I mean, the horse did have a pretty sharp workout right here in October, the beginning of October. Let me roll the dice with the 7. I got the 4 Electric as my second choice. This horse was a 4th place finisher last time out. Last year had a couple seconds right here over our track.
Yeah.
I'll think maybe the horse likes the track. I can put this horse in the top 3. And then I got the 10 Ember in the Sky 3 as my third pick here. Second last time out, a couple thirds before that. So has been up there hitting the board. But, those were maiden claiming races. Now it's stepping up in this maiden spot. So we'll see what happens. But 7-4-10 is how I see race 11.
Quick thought on the 11 Bailey's, who is my second pick and may very well end up being a well-backed favorite here. Comes out of straight maiden races, and then last year had a couple of trials over in New Mexico. But Edith Mojica took over the training this summer at Retama. Close second at 5-2, not as the favorite, though, on August 7th. A race that featured our top pick, Mrs. PYC Angel, who was 5-1 in that race. So our pick got some attention, broke out, as you mentioned, ran 7th out of 8, well beaten. I'm going to chalk that up, like you said, hope for improvement second time out. Bailey's followed that up with with another maiden race opening weekend here. Got bumped around. I mean, she makes sense, but in a field like this with a lot of long-time maidens, and Bailey's is a little unproven, even though she has, done okay for what she's done. I'm going to take a shot on the 7 as well. We'll see how it ends up working for us.
Yeah, I think that was like rolling the dice in that race.
Yeah, it's on to the 12th and final. We've got a high five carryover. I think it's 10,880 is the carryover today. Maiden, 3 to 5 year olds going 350. Scratch the 7. Eyes got it. And scratch both of the also eligibles.
Yeah, so that puts me on the 6 Apolitical Cruise here in this spot. This horse has had a lot of experience, 11 different races. Out of those 11 races, this horse does have a second and 3/3. Last time out, the horse was a 4th-place runner. That was at Ruidoso back in June, so it's been a little time off. This horse has had a little bit of time off, but, put in a decent workout back on the 3rd of September, 12:44 on the morning. If this horse is looking to get back to the racetrack, the campaign at Turf Paradise earlier this year wasn't bad. I mean, finished in the money in, 3 out of 4 races or so. I'll give the benefit of the doubt to Apolitical Cruise to step it up tonight and have a decent race. I mean, the only other time we've seen her out here was in the Wrangler Stakes last year, or 2 years ago. Excuse me, on
Championship night. And tonight's championship night over in Albuquerque.
So, anyway, Apolitical Cruise, that's the one I'm taking here in the nightcap.
There's a lot to like about him. I really did think he and the 2 All About Me were the ones, and they're both semi-long-time maidens, but they come from good barns. They've been facing, by and large, good competition and running reasonably competitively. Apolitical Cruise, this year, since the comeback after missing all of last year, a couple of 4ths, couple of 3rds, a second has generally been very competitive. This could be his night. All About Me is about the best bred quarter horse you're going to see by Favorite Cartel out of a mare that made $309,000 and was a Grade 1 winner, All About Ease. She has also produced a Grade 1 winner by a horse by the name of Shazak. And Michael Joyner, obviously a tremendous trainer. Diego Cervantes also having a very good year, won a race last night. He trains the 6. I just gave the nod to All About Me, figuring he had a little layoff. Had a comeback race here where he was kind of dull on September 25th, but now he wheels back, had a race. Maybe he'll benefit. The rest of them are kind of a toss-up, kind of a mixed bag. But, I think the 2 and the 6 are going to get most of the betting here, and, we'll see if they live up to it.
Yeah, we'll see. Anything can happen, but, pretty nice super jackpot high-five race tonight. Nice carryover. Worth taking a shot for 20 cents and putting something together, I would say.
So a dozen coming up. Track money to start the night. Post time in 31 minutes for the first. Thanks a lot for being with us on this portion of the racing, and good luck tonight. In the event of an emergency, Lone Star Park is dedicated to ensuring the safety of our patrons. This video illustrates the proper evacuation protocol from all public locations in the Lone Star Park Grandstand facility. Depending on the nature of the emergency, directions may be altered. Please remain calm and follow the direction of Lone Star Park employees and security personnel. Patrons should never use elevators during an evacuation. Suite levels 5 and 6 have 3 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 stairwells on either far end of the building, and 1 next to the elevators. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. Silks Dining has 5 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 stairwells on either far end of the building that are accessible through either the Jockey Club or Paddock Lounge, and 3 centrally located stairwells near the elevators, escalators, and buffet. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. Level 2 has 5 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 on either far end of the building that are accessible through the Alishiba room and in front of the far west side bathrooms, and 3 centrally located stairwells near the elevators, mustards, and feed sack. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. The track level has 2 main exits on either side of the grandstand that patrons should use to exit the building. Near the west and east escalators. Follow signage and exit the building. Remember to always exit towards the paddock and never towards the track. If severe weather occurs and shelter in place is issued, all patrons will take shelter on the basement level. The grandstand has 2 stairwells on either far end of the building
that extend to all floors. Calmly head towards whichever end of the building is closest to you. Look for an exit sign and walk down the stairs following all signage and security staff instructions to shelter in the basement level.
Hey you, yeah you, sitting and watching the races.